Hey everybody!
Hey.
Welcome to the launch stream.
Oh wow, yeah, I guess it is. It's the
It's
launch
just
stream.
the launch stream.
Yeah.
I launched. Already breaking things?
You broke it.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. We need sticky tack to hold things in place.
Yeah.
Nothing but sticky tack.
Couldn't have been me. I was so far away.
Doubt. It's always Adam. So, we finally launched the Horizon Quest campaign.
Yeah.
Ooh, so yeah, this is the stream that we're using to celebrate. It is actually pretty earlier compared to the normal streams, which is at like 4:30. We decided to, launch earlier and maybe stream longer.
Hey, it's our artist over there.
Yeah, look at who it is. Well, the artist for one of the posters for the campaign.
Got Gabe the Jen. Got Piracy over here.
Yes,
Matt
Gabe the
Atkinson.
Jen. The very one and only Jen.
It's the actual Shadow the Hedgehog, dude.
Oh, wow. I didn't think we'd get Shadow the Hedgehog in
the
chat. The
king of the Teutons.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the recent D&D movie? I'll pass.
I just assumed it would be horrible, and I didn't look at it.
I heard that it was pretty, tame and campy, which is fine, but, regardless, I'll pass. With all the shit going down in current modern day Dungeons and Dragons.
They should have just done a really passive aggressive list of complaints from a DM about his players. Just no music in the movie.
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
Cut the CGI budget, but tell everybody about their CGI.
Yeah, already at 14%. I also assumed it would be horrible.
Y'all make a cute couple. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, look at us. Fun fact: Adam actually hasn't looked at the campaign page so far. He just woke up not too long ago. So let's see how much.
You're calling me out like that.
Well, you're staying up late working on stuff for the comic.
Actually,
that's why.
Yeah, I guess I was working on the helmets.
Yes. Yeah. That's a very exciting.
Oh, we should have had. I should get that at some point to show people.
You want me to go get it?
No, I could just climb on top.
You could just climb on top of me. Perfect.
It's fine.
For those of you who don't know, this is a very tight area that
there's plenty of room. Trisha's exaggerating.
No. Okay. All right. So there's not a lot of room to move around, is what we're saying. He's gonna go get the Vera helmet. That's one of the big exciting things about the campaign is we're actually utilizing the 3D printer that we own to get something really special. So the special thing that we had for this particular campaign is we used the 3D printer to make the helmet that Vera has with a little adjustments to make it a little bit more simpler. And then we used the 3D printed helmet as an acrylic standee holder. So you got an acrylic Vera and then, the pixie, and then you can put her inside the helmet. And it looks pretty neat. I thought it was a really neat idea. We could have also, I guess, just 3D printed the models of the characters themselves. But as you can kind of see from this mock-up Ellie print we did, I'm not very confident in my painting abilities. I don't have much experience in it. And they're also kind of pricey to make the models for it. You want to climb back over me? It's 90% of your workout. All right.
So mean.
I'm joking. Right. Vera helmets.
And they go
armlet.
And they go kerplunk.
That's a good thing. And there she is in the helmet with her little glyphs on the side. Very cool. Very nice.
Finally figured it out.
So there is going to be a limited amount of those, of course, because they're a tad pricey. But we're excited to get them out to you. They also take a long time to print. Like, how much time total do you think this helmet took to print on the 3D printer?
So the helmet part, was 19 hours and 36 minutes, and then this was 3 hours and like 59 minutes, so 4 hours for the visor.
Yeah, so a long time. We're probably going to be printing them back to back to fulfill orders that we have of it.
Another helmet is printing right now.
I thought you were about to say another printer is a good investment. Let me get this sweatshirt off. Yeah. Alrighty. Would back it for myself, but cash was limited. Understandable.
That's all right.
It's the ultimate bundle, so I wanted to make sure it was something special offered for the ultimates.
That's awesome. I didn't expect it to move.
Yeah. That'll be even more awesome with some LEDs in there too. Yeah.
It's kind of a good idea.
It's not bad. So you want to see the campaign page now, Adam?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see how we're doing so far.
Oh, God,
shall we? We got 23 backers, wow. $719 so far. That's and awesome. Still 36 days left.
Wow. That's awesome.
Aren't you happy? I do believe we sold almost all of the original art. Only Genwin is left.
Oh, wow.
Only the main character original art piece is left over.
Poor Genwin.
As you can imagine, all the girls went first. All the girls went first, and then Harkon, and now it's just Genwin alone with his animals.
I predicted Astrid would be the first to sell.
Actually, it was Alanwi.
Oh, it was?
Alanwi was the first. Isn't that fun?
That's
and there's
cool.
The ultimate bundle. All of the original art sold. Yeah, there's only one of each sketch card, so you got to get them fast. And so far, we got 3 out of 5 for the ultimate bundle claim.
Awesome.
Ooh, special things.
Oh, 2 people got the double book. That's awesome.
Yes. Wow. That's Adam's other book that he was doing simultaneously. Yeah. Slayer in the Wide Valley over here. So we decided to include that as part of the campaign.
Oh, we forgot to
get both of his books.
Forgot to credit the artist as Neutron Boar did the cover.
Neutron Boar. I can add that in there. From Minds, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Unless he's on Twitter too. I don't know.
I don't know. I think he's on Instagram too.
Okay. Sounds awesome then. Yeah, so this is the poster.
It's so cute. I love the
done by our friend in the chat over here.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Adam wanted to get a nice poster of a cozy setting with all the characters together.
So I feel like that's a big part of fantasy is that sort of bond of kind of
friendship.
I guess friendship, yeah.
Yes.
The whole party working together and having these flaws and strengths that all kind of
Yeah.
I love the pixie toasting.
Yeah, right.
With
the floating gauntlet. It's a nice touch.
Even the food looks good. Looks like shepherd's pie or something.
Very well might be. We also got this poster.
Yeah.
Oh,
perfect
spooky.
For your home gym, so you can motivate yourself to get Minotaur-like gains.
Yeah, right. We will turn you into a monster. So we got cozy, and then we have not so cozy.
His veins is almost as thick as his pinky.
He looks like he will fuck you up. This one was done by Demina19. I believe they're also doing another campaign simultaneously.
Oh, cool.
Or maybe just promoting. I don't remember. I've got terrible memory in general. But
But yeah,
yeah,
those are the bookmarks.
those are your sword bookmarks, also made with the 3D printer.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, we're getting good use out of the 3D printer.
Yeah.
And I can't guarantee what color you'll get. It's just kind of whatever we have to print. We do have a lot of colors, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, we might run out of silver for reasons. We'll order more silver.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the big thing. Is the Vera in her helmet. All the original art pieces. If you would like to see their full versions, most of them already gone. That's why you got to be quick. That's why.
You know, I don't know if it's like too hard to coordinate with like how Indiegogo works, but like I could print out like specific colors. People like maybe if they get the ultimate bundle or something, I could like print a specific color that they want.
As far as I know, you would just have to like be super organized, email them one by one, and ask what they want. And yeah, there's.
I guess that's not super duper doable.
But yeah, I managed to make a quick trailer yesterday, so we can always watch that as well. I don't know how well the sound will come up though, because I don't think Streamlabs like automatically records the desktop audio. But you know, hey, look, you got a compliment. Nice Bird's shirt. We were just talking about how like so often he wears this shirt and gets a bunch of compliments this morning.
That's the emoticon is it's supposed to be this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm out of the loop when it comes to metalhead stuff.
Thank you.
So there we go. Let's watch. Anyways, hear the audio. It took a while to decide on the audio.
Such a cute song.
Yeah, copyright
free. It explains why I feel like I've heard it before.
I wanted to like really search deep to find something that sounded like triumphant and not like super dark. Just dreary.
You got the perfect music for this.
Yeah, music cue. I'll also include the original band if you want to take her out of the helmet. Assuming, of course, you've helmet standee holder.
Originally, I was thinking like putting a light in there, but then I was like,
there it is. It's good to have stock footage of nature.
Yeah.
To put in the background of your fantasy novel. Right. Are you guys hyped yet? This is gonna be super good.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped too. Let's see. I managed to get out the first meme of the campaign.
Oh?
There you go. Get him, loser. We're slaying orcs.
Oh, is that's from Mean Girls?
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
I'm used to the one that's like a deer.
A deer?
Yeah, it was like a deer out the like back window. There's just like a deer's head or something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's okay.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Just like an ancient meme from from days of yore.
From elden times. Yeah. We have gotten quite the boost. Are other people excited about it as well?
I know, isn't that awesome?
Got the Eric Canetti fan art going on here. He does some amazing work, I gotta say. Look at those
Yeah.
aggressive tits he put on her. It's perfect. We also got fan art from, well, it's probably like super far back. We also got fan art from
my
Renee.
beautiful art.
Yeah, your beautiful art, Renee DeLiz, looking
Isn't that
nice.
incredible?
Look at the little, it's so cute. The little like Firefox going on there. Aren't you just blessed?
I know, it's like
There's so many people, talented people interested in our project. And
so
then
cool.
yeah, there's some fan art from Frank Frazetta. Worked very hard on that one. We had to hire a necromancer to raise him from the dead, just so he could do this awesome Horizon Quest art. Proud of this.
You'll notice that like my art style changed like as I'm doing it. So as you might guess, the first one I drew was the knight. And I tried to use the paint bucket, but it wasn't working, so I just gave up. I forgot his hair too. I was gonna add it, but but it's okay. His teeth look beautiful.
Oh yeah,
and he has blue eyes. The other mistake is he has like not blonde eyebrows. That doesn't make any sense. I think that's why. I think people saw the hair that it doesn't have hair, and they realized it was the April Fool's joke.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's why.
But I think Genwin's perfect. Look at those twigs.
Yeah.
You like how my finger technique evolved? It was first I was just like one solid rounded block. And then I think I did him first. Yeah. So I did him first and I was like, I'll just do
By the way, they can't see your mouse.
Oh, they can't?
No.
Oh, but you're
He's like gesturing with the mouse, but I don't think they can actually see it.
Well, as you can see, Genwin's fingers are rectangles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
And then the technique evolved for Astrid's fingers. It's a rounded block, and then I drew the lines. But then when I did her other fingers, I was like, no, I should go back, but stretch out circles to do the fingers. And I think I counted right on all the fingers. So
you did perfectly.
I'm surprised anyone could tell it was April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that'll be a fantastic variant.
And look how good I drew the rock in the background.
This is the guy who did the poster, the second poster. It's a double poster tier, so you're actually getting two.
Yeah,
isn't that fun? Extra good deals over here. Adam, show us your rendering skills. Yes, you evolved.
I know what rendering is.
Fantastic.
Correct.
Oh, you can see the mouse? Well, I learned something new.
Yeah.
Congrats on the launch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Will Slayer in the Wide Valley be available separately later on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be on his website after our campaign is fulfilled.
Yeah, I gotta make my website better. I gotta
Your website is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a little sparse,
functions. Yeah. We've got to catch you on replay. Congrats on your launch. No problem. We'll have the VOD. We'll always have the VOD, no matter what. Your cover gave me a good chuckle. The pointless boob straps.
What are you talking about? Otherwise, you would see nipples.
Yeah, of course.
You can't have nudity on.
That would be absurd. Nudity? Yeah. What? You gotta cover that with a
tasteful,
nice, tasteful strap, of course.
I tried my best to have both lines line up with each other, and it's just. You know what the problem was? I was using a mouse and not my tablet, my drawing tablet.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why. If you had your drawing tablet, I'm sure you'd be doing much better. Mm-hmm. Let's do a little refresh. 24 backers.
Wow.
Look at that. We're over 800.
That's so awesome.
You're so happy. Can we get to 1,000 by the end of the day? And that's the real question. Challenge ourselves, why don't we? So, you want to talk a little bit about the comic then? Let people know what they're getting into?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so we are both lovers of fantasy, naturally. And every now and then we've kind of talked about how, like, you know, we're craving more fantasy content, but a lot of it tends to be kind of just the samey isekais, main character's super overpowered, or it's some sort of dark fantasy that's like over the top dark, and we're not super duper interested in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I
We
guess
sensed a
that.
void, and we wanted to fill it with something that's more classic high fantasy, fun, engaging, strong friendship.
Yeah. And it's not like you're gonna see anything like super good from like mainstream stuff. So
Oh, definitely not. I'll say this. The one thing I was a tad insecure about when it came to doing a full comic in my regular old art style here is that it's very Western type anime. And I feel like in modern day, when people see Western anime art style, they kind of turn their nose up at it, you know?
I assume it's gonna have some like crazy stuff. Like we were like in that one shop and there was all those like I don't know, like xenogender or whatever comics.
Well, none of that here, of course. But you know what I mean. People see it and they're like, ugh, they're just trying to like mimic anime, and as though like I'm trying to like steal any manga creator's job or something.
Yeah.
As if I could. But uh it was at one point fine to have a Western anime style. Now it's just like perhaps oversaturated, or perhaps just oversaturated with people who don't know what they're doing. I don't think that's the case here.
No.
I think we nailed what this comic should be. Now, granted, it's not complete yet, but most of the art basically done.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and most of the
just
text
like,
is done too.
Well,
it's just like
we got a lot of editing to do.
Hilariously,
and we got a lot of supplemental art to do.
Yeah, hilariously, we lost the we lost a lot of the text edits when your hard drive died, and then I was editing it. I had a lot of notes, and then my laptop died.
Yeah, right.
So
it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That it's just like around the same time, both of our laptops die.
Yeah, the first couple pages are probably final. I don't know, but I'll look. Yeah.
When we do have like a couple pages ready, we were thinking we'll put that up on the fan club for those of you who are subscribed to the $5 subscription on Subscribestar. You can read it early because special place for special people, naturally.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as finishing this up, I have no doubt we'll be done by the time that the campaign is done. 35 days is more than enough time to be able to wrap this up, because
we're done in like a couple days.
Yeah, maybe like another week and we can be done.
Or we're already done, or we're just perfectionists.
Nothing wrong with being a little bit of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the stretch goals, the stretch goal for 6K, our normal goal was 5K, but the stretch goal for 6K is that we'll add in a few more pages with some additional art, some illustrations, some concept art, maybe some lore bits here and there, stuff like that, just to make the comic feel more full and engaging. So that's something you can look forward to.
One of my favorite fantasy genres is sort of modern fantasy, like a fantasy world with
Magic, but
magic.
also has technology.
Yeah.
So it's like magic fuels the technology instead of science. Is that just me? Well, I
I'm
had
a,
Sonic City Witch.
yeah,
It's kind of like
I'm a fan of that too. I like the sort of science fiction that you can get up to if you add magic to the equation. Like some spells, like even in like Harry Potter or something. If you just like mix some science with it, all of a sudden it becomes like kind of interesting. Um,
yeah. I mean, it's not too hard to like kind of put a system behind it that works with modern day science.
yeah, especially if you have like kind of yeah. No, I'm also a fan of those kind of things. Because if you look at like Harry Potter or something, there's like Leviosa. If you think of all the abuses you could have for floating things, it's like so if you had a anything that shoots a projectile, if you just made the projectile weightless, it could be like really big. I mean, air resistance, but I mean, you basically just like remove gravity, and then like any kind of industrial process with like anything moving, you could just make it all weightless, and then it's just
Yeah, right.
faster. So you could have like a mechanic that just like upgrades machines by just making him Leviosaing all the time.
Yeah, there you go. Perhaps someday that style will become acceptable in the mainstream. Maybe. Some people don't mind it. I think another thing is maybe it depends more so like how good the artist is at doing that style. Some people aren't very good at doing the style in the first place, and they just kind of wing it. And um, another thing that people have mentioned in other conversations is that what they hate the most about the style is that it could be like deceptive. Like
Mm.
it's a manga, but it's actually not from Japan. So they feel like they're not getting what they paid for when they buy those. And, there are manga publishers in the United States, the people that are translating our manga for us, they also publish like Americanized manga as well. That's a thing. They also do web comics and, you know, manhwa,
Manhwa.
Korean web
Yeah,
comics.
I don't really see your style as being that like anime. Just I don't know.
It's kind of like a mix of what I already know with like what I've learned from anime. Granted, I've read quite a lot of manga, so it tends to influence how I want to draw things. If I see a certain thing being drawn a certain way that I like, then I start putting it into my own style.
Yeah, I don't know. It certainly looks Western to me. It just looks like kind of cartoony with like a capacity to be cute, you know.
I typically like that, like that type of style. But thanks for the donation, Robert. Getting this for the boobage on the cover. A man of culture.
Yeah.
No problem. The art for the Castlevania series felt like Western anime, and that looked good. Fair enough.
It did look good. It's like a kind of Avatar situation where like the choreography and like the art looks nice.
I would argue that looked more Americanized than anime-ish. Like it looked more like they're trying to do slightly more realistic faces and proportions.
Or like maybe like one of those old like Justice League movies
Yeah,
with like a big budget.
I could see that. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but with more.
Yeah.
More realistic proportions.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I heard the writing like kind of
dropped off.
Kind of fell off. Yeah.
The bits that I've seen of it, I have not liked. The fighting scenes I've seen of it are fine, but fighting, it doesn't really say a lot about the writing. It just says a lot about the animation crew and the storyboarders. They may be good, but that's not why that's not the only reason why I tune into a show.
I have this friend who's like super into vampires, who's kind of like a man of few words, and he was like, all he said about it was like, I watched it.
Oh man!
I was like, well, I saw like first episode, the fight scenes were good. He's like, the fight scenes were good. And he's just like so dead. I'm like, I don't even want to ask.
Oh no.
Like I understand. It's okay.
It's all right.
I don't know if it's actually bad. I know he didn't like it. But...
It is what it is, you know. Can't force someone to like something. My art style is inspired by anime as well, mostly magical girl anime. Biggest inspiration, I'd say, is 90s Sailor Moon. That makes sense. And Precure anime's cause of the big circular eyes. Yeah, a lot of people, bitches love Sailor Moon, man. It's so true. I think I've only ever watched the first 1 or 2 episodes of Sailor Moon. I didn't really understand what was happening. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to it. I don't know. Maybe I need a Vadi Vidya to give me the deepest lore of Sailor Moon so I can understand it better. Western-made manga could work, just varies on the art quality. That's very, very true. I feel like one of the things that American comics need is some variety.
I instinctively wouldn't trust it. Like,
yeah.
if I didn't know that.
Well, you've been burned too many times.
Yeah, I've been burned too many times. I instinctively wouldn't trust it. I would just assume if it's like not made in Japan, it's going to be some weird political thing.
What turns me off to a lot of like indie comics that I see in the stores is a lot of them are like selling themselves on very shallow things. Like even with, some of these American manga being printed through Viz Media, for example, they'll have like some crazy weird title and mediocre art. I think I saw like
I ended up in another world with my refrigerator?
No, not like that. I mean like for example, like a title like, oh, My Queer Non-Binary Life. And I'm looking at that like, what? That's not a story. That's just like so self-gratifying, It's like, I'm so cool because I'm queer and non-binary, and it's so shallow.
Such a good
I'm not
person.
going to be interested or read a comic like that. It's just not going to happen. But that's kind of one of the problems with a lot of American comics is that they're being sold based on these really shallow political things rather than
some like goddamn ninjas and soul reapers.
Yeah, that's what we really need. Like those Marvel anime back then by Madhouse. Yeah, I do remember those. They'll be okay. I hope wrong one. I hope Lazy Style never get too mainstream. It's less capable to tell all sorts of stories like adventure and action, suits, webcomics, and romance. For the most part, it also requires less skill. Yes. I do notice, of course, many webcomics, before they hit their big break, or if maybe they never do hit their big break, but many webcomics are very lazily done, very, very quick done. And, I used to be kind of okay with webcomics existing and even wanted to contribute some webcomics to the world. Over time, though, I learned to hate webcomics and what they did to the comic industry. I just learned to hate them so much because they devalued comics by a lot. It just made people, it made people see comics as this worthless, cheap thing.
Yeah.
That you can just get online for free and they're going to be made super cheaply. No one's going to care. The story is half-assed and not fun.
I had a big problem with that with like ebooks at some point. Like, it was this race to the bottom on pricing, and it's like who do you think you are charging 99 cents for your book? Like, it doesn't cost you anything to print it. And it's like, yeah, but it costs me all this labor. Like, it takes so long to write a book, and it's like, and then you look at some of these books that get put out, and they're not like the first page, the first paragraph, you can find all these like mistakes and clunky sentences, and it's just like, well, why should they edit it if they're not even making money off of it? And so it becomes just like a blog post you're just posting on Amazon. And and then everyone would tell me, like there's so many people who give me like advice on being a writer, and they're like, oh, you know what you should do? You should make it free and then offer it on Amazon, or print a bunch of copies and give them all out for free, and then they'll all tell their friends, and then and then you change it and you have it, you cost money once your sales are like $1,000 a day, and then you'll be a billionaire.
Yeah,
and
that's how that'll work.
Cool. And then the other advice is like, you should talk to Hallmark, or like you should make it it's like, why'd you write a book? Why don't you write a screenplay so you could be a billionaire? You can make all this money in like Hollywood. It's like,
oh yeah, that's another thing with like a lot of web comics and new comics coming out there, is that they're not really trying to be comics anymore. Like they're trying to get some Netflix deal, you know? That's like people's what are you pointing at?
Adam, are you going to autograph your book in the bundle? Yes, I am.
Is.
And Trisha was supposed to.
You might as well. What do you mean supposed to? You never told me until it was live. Trying to call me out on stream. Not today, Satan. Okay, so yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like above putting up some of my past comics for free. I know that like not every comic I've done is of the highest quality it could have been. A lot of my past comics kind of fall under that category where it's like, okay, well, this is what I did to like learn how to do comics, and it's kind of fine, I think, to put those up for free, and they are free on the website. But if I want to make comics my career, I'm not going to be able to do that by making every single comic I write be free.
Yeah, it's
not going to help the quality. It's not going to make my stories better. It's going to make everything worse.
It's also bad for like your mentality, because if you start thinking about the stuff you do as having no value, you're going to
be depressed.
Even if you don't realize it, you're going to adjust how hard you work or how important it is. Like, but like for me, I lowered the price of my first book because I felt like I'm more comfortable with it. I wanted to kind of set expectations lower than my newer books. And so I changed the price to be cheaper, because I felt like, not like it had no value, but I felt like I would rather people go into it at a lower price point.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. More often than not, I kind of tend to knee-jerk towards making my comics worth, or selling my comics at a lower price point than they are actually worth. And that's not a good habit to have, because really you should try to make it equivalent to how much work you put into it. At least somewhat so. Because you should value how much work you put into it, and that's how it's going to motivate you to keep putting more work into it and to get better, to get more money, etc., etc.
Good luck with the campaign by L. Kraken registered trademark.
Really like the book cover. Thank you. I'd say to get a great story going, having characters that feel human and relatable will push the story forward. That's why I tend to focus a lot on my characters' writing. Oh yeah, character writing comes first for me. I love the characters.
Characters have always come easier to me, but I wonder. Yeah, that's like, I guess that's complicated. I was in a writing class, and the teacher was like, plot doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is characters. Stop worrying about the plot. And I was like, what? I'm already kind of good at writing characters, but I'm bad at writing plot. Yeah, I'm in a class to learn.
You gotta learn how to do both. You can't just they're both important.
One. Yeah. It's just whenever, it is true that characters are really important, but I'm always like cautious against assuming that it's the most important thing, because it's the thing I'm better at than plot. And so I don't know. Although I feel like the plot of Slayer in the Wide Valley, without giving anything away, I feel like it came out pretty good.
It's good. Yeah. I think you had a solid plot going on there. Me being one of the few, if not only, people who've actually read the full thing.
You're the only person, yeah.
Oh, I am. Oh, by the way, minor gore and violence warning. I felt like I had to put it on the campaign page somewhere because I don't know like where people are on the. I feel like the gore in Horizon Quest is kind of maybe on the same level of modern shonen gore, and it's not that big of a deal, and it's fine for teenagers, yada yada yada. But I don't know where some people lie.
It's definitely not as bad as like wouldn't Attack on Titan be a shonen?
Would it? I thought that was for older audiences, or I thought that was like a shonen
Um,
plus thing.
Modern shonen, but like Demon Slayer, I bet gets like super gory. I would bet. Like, I haven't watched all of it or read all of it.
I mean, I think what it kind of pushes something over the edge is like how detailed the gore is, or how like disturbing it is, I guess. Because like I see this as very minimalistic gore. You know,
yeah,
it's not very detailed. It's not like going inside of the orc's body to see like each of his bones break or anything.
I wouldn't put your. I wouldn't put your. I wouldn't put the gore level on the, like, modern shonen scale, just because like I don't know what modern shonen to be like referencing. It's like, I don't know. I guess.
Have you ever seen One Piece where like there's blood everywhere, but nobody's like got a super.
How does anybody bleed?
Detail.
Don't they all fight with water guns?
Yayo.
What do we?
Fucking 4Kids One Piece guy over here.
That's such a funny story. Like, that you cut it out of the Sonic song thing, but like when we were like we first like met, we were talking about like just everything, and then she said she likes the songs of One Piece. Those are like her favorite, and I was like, because I only
yayo.
And I was like, oh, no.
I didn't say they were my favorite though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I said like the newest One Piece opening is like super good or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what it
and
was,
then
but I was like,
you were like, oh no, she's got the pirate rap in her head all day.
It's like, I can't.
Dreaming. Luffy. That's all he ever knew. His dreaming, don't give it up, Luffy.
Also, One Piece is just a big treasure in a room with lots of gold pieces.
Yeah, they showed you it.
They showed it. Yeah, they showed it already in the opening.
So. Remember when they ended the 4Kids One Piece and they ended it with everyone dying?
Yeah. I never saw that episode, but my friend John was telling me, I don't know if this is true, but he was telling me that they ended, when they lost the license, they ended the cliffhanger episode. They ended, it was supposed to be a cliffhanger episode where the ship is starting to sink, but they ended the whole series as though the ship did sink and everyone died.
No. What it is there's before they go to the Sky Island arc, a ship falls from the sky and it almost falls on them, but they they get out of the way. And then 4Kids, they just ended it with like the ship about to fall on them, and then the episode ends. Yayo.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, everyone dies at the end of 4Kids One Piece.
Oh, that's right. Cryohazard 69. One piece is just one. That's the one at the bottom. It's just a single coin. It's one gold piece.
Yeah.
One piece.
There it is.
Big rip. Out there for nothing.
Don't sell your art at a price it isn't worth. If it's too low, you're not gonna make it. If you price it reasonable, then people shouldn't have a problem with it. If they do, then screw them. Fair point. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You want a good deal. I want a good deal as well. But I also want to support independent artists. Yeah, everyone died at the end. That's right.
No, it's just Barzer's like, there is no One Piece. One Piece 4Kids dub in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, there you go.
There is no
I hate
wolf.
you, Adam.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Adam, who did the cover for your book? It is Neutron Boar. We forgot to credit him, but yeah, Neutron
We'll
Boar.
put it in there.
Well, yeah.
Make sure people know.
Got a Neutron Boar and then the signed book.
Yeah.
I am gonna sign my book. Although
all the books are gonna be signed.
My signature is like significantly worse than Trisha's, which is really funny because Trisha took my I got this fancy new pen.
It's a very nice pen.
And Trisha took it and she signed my name in her fancy, like, pretty artist handwriting.
I wanted to show you this is what it could look like if you were good.
So mean. It looks beautiful. Like, and I signed my name next to it just to like have the comparison. It's like
not even close. But
no.
it's okay. You'll get better. You have so much practice signing all these books for the campaign. And then your signature is just going to get better and better to the point where it's almost as good as the signature I did with your name.
I don't know. I think, like, to get better at something, don't you need to be consistent? Like, every time I write my name, it looks different. So it's like...
I mean, you kind of have the shape of the letters that you want to shape.
Almost. But then I, like, look up, like, cursive alphabets of, like, what the letters are supposed to look like, and it's like, oh, no, that's not... I don't know where I got that from, but that's not a letter.
Well, I hate the cursive T, so I always just do a regular T, and then I also do a different R. I do like a capital R and then just swish it into the rest of it, because like the cursive R also looks like shit. So I just kind of switch out the letters that I don't like, and then I make my own signature with that. And that's what all of you should do as well, to make your signatures look pretty.
Yeah, I zoned out. My signature's gonna be real shit.
You'll be fine. Very few signatures are genuinely legible, I find.
You know, it's not even about being legible. Mine is both illegible and ugly. Like, it's not even...
It just looks like a child scribble.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I had like this super old notebook that like came from some dollar store or something, but it's from when I was like 5 and we went to Disney World, and I got all the character signature in that tiny little notebook. And let me tell you, most of those pages are just me scribbling in it when I was 5. I scribble like right next to the Mickey Mouse signature, and I'm like, my signature look good too. It's very much like Adam's signature. I'm joking.
We'll get a fresh pack of crayons so I can sign the books appropriately.
A nice crayon.
Just full fist.
Perfect.
Crayon drawing.
Illegible and Ugly is going to be the name of my autobiography. That's a good name. I can only write legibly when I write with my hands slanted at an odd angle. Well, I always write with my hands slanted at an odd angle.
I'll start doing that. I'll just...
Yeah, you need the bent pinky slant. That's what you need.
Yeah, I'll just turn the paper and write. Maybe that'll change it.
Yeah, maybe then it'll be good.
I'll write like vertically.
All right, let's do another refresh, shall we? I think it's been long enough for another refresh.
That's very exciting.
I imagine since we're also streaming early, perhaps not everyone's gonna... Hey, 25 backers, let's go. Perhaps not everyone's gonna be able to make it to the stream. But that's fine. We wanted to like stream immediately upon launching, but you know, this is as close as we could get because I didn't want to wait too long to launch it. I wanted to make sure I could let it stew a little bit. It's gonna be good. There's all our characters. We have the possibly psychopathic knight.
Why do you say that?
I don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. He's a totally normal, very happy knight.
Why did you do that?
And then we have Astrid, Big
Delete the
Booba.
VOD now.
She's a possibly psychopathic mage. Then we have Vera in her suit of armor.
Yeah.
She gives everyone buffs. But she looks quite cool in her suit of armor.
Yes.
And then Elanwi is shooting everyone with arrows.
Yeah, my
orcs go die.
My original idea with Vera, the fairy, was to have like glyphs like inscribed all in the inside of the armor. That's why I wanted to have the glyphs in the helmet, because we didn't really end up visually depicting that so much. But like my idea for how the armor is like animated is through like glyphs that she puts in like each of the pieces of armor. So then like if she wanted like a different spell, she might go and fly to like the stomach and look for it and like, you know.
Right. One of the scenes we didn't end up doing is like she gets hit to the bottom of the boot, and then there's a glyph down there that she presses, and then the armor just starts doing like the double lariat. Yeah.
She does get knocked into the boot though, right?
She does get knocked, yeah. Because it's hard being a tiny girl in a big suit of armor.
Yeah, she's in the helmet, and the head gets bonked, and then she goes ding dong dong.
That's what happens when you get bonked.
Down to the boot.
Don't bonk it if you can't.
And then Elanwi, I wanted to differentiate her from like maybe the more like general sort of view of archery. I tend to see when like archery gets depicted, it's like just like all archery traits just better, you know. So like bigger, harder, like stronger bows, faster shooting, like everything. And there's a lot to archery. Like it's more complex than just like plus archery stat, I think. And so I wanted her to have kind of a low powered bow that she shoots very fast. And then to complement that, I figured she's also like an elf, and so access to enchanted stuff should be like maybe a little bit easier. So she has a magical quiver, so we don't have to like also conveniently,
you don't have to drop the arrows all just hanging around.
Don't have to count the arrows. Yeah, she just has more.
There was this one fantasy show where I was watching someone do a commentary on it, and he kept on continuously commenting on how they always had like 2 or 3 arrows in their quiver, and they're like, "What? You're gonna run out!" And yeah, no matter how many arrows they fired, they always had 2 or 3 arrows in their quiver because no one cared working on the show. But yeah, so we don't have to deal with that because we just gave her a magical quiver.
I saw a depiction of Hawkeye.
Always got arrows in it.
He had like a huge square backpack of arrows. Like they don't even draw individuals. It's just like a grass texture of arrows, like out of this huge backpack. Like, all right.
Oh man, I would love like a magazine clip of arrows. That would be perfect.
Slingshot channels, instant Legolas.
Yep, that's how we do it. Man, this is a very nice art piece that Neutron Boar did.
Yeah, I wanted to first of all have like kind of like an epic landscape to make people feel like, you know, adventure.
Yes, that is important.
And then I also kind of wanted to, like, whenever I look at like retro fantasy art, I always have this feeling of not like I want to explore that world, but like I want to know that story, because it's always like it always feels like the characters are very unique and stuff. When I see those like retro fantasy arts, that was kind of something I mentioned to the artist.
Yeah, retro fantasy art is legitimately the best.
And then yeah, and so I wanted to capture kind of like the essence of that. That might, I guess, explain. Yeah, whatever. I guess I could go on, but
Yeah, obviously, Frank Rosetta fans got
Oh yeah,
the art up the top.
and her hair. That's like his interpretation of it. I just basically gave him some of the like her hair is kind of described sort of impossibly, because one of the nice things about a non-visual medium is that you get to do stuff that's sort of impossible. Like the example I always give is H.P. Lovecraft whenever he's describing like the door in Call of Cthulhu, where it's like they don't know how big the door is, like or no, the color out of space. It's like,
Oh yeah, it's
what
an
color could it
impossible
be? It's
color.
it doesn't make sense.
And then the movie,
A
it's purple.
non-Euclidean shape. What is wrong with these doors? Like everything is like, but
that adds so much to the horror, though.
Right. So he uses it for that, but I was thinking like that's such a good technique to use because it's like, well, you can't see it, and so that's really like something you can do with writing that you can't do with other mediums. And I was like, well, I should capitalize on
You
that.
like force the reader to imagine it in their own unique way.
Yeah, and so I wanted to try and figure out how to do that for other effects, and so I did it with her hair, and so this is like his interpretation of it. But I describe her hair as like all sorts of stuff like honey amber and like all the colors of autumn and stuff. So it can't quite exist exactly.
She's got super full hair as well.
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of like 80s Starfire, where it's just like everywhere.
So you can see how like in the light it's a little bit like blonde, and then it looks like it's kind of ginger, maybe brown other places. And so yeah, he was excited for the challenge, and he just kind of went into it.
It turned out really nice.
Yeah, I'm proud to have my story behind that picture. Yeah.
And as you can see, like more loincloth fashion going on here.
I thought so like Liam, the protagonist, he has a little bit of magic, just a little bit of like force magic, very like low levels, like very battle mage-y kind of magic. And she is like a full mage, and I thought I wanted him to feel kind of intimidated by her, and so part of doing that is talking about how like the mages can make themselves magically pretty, like like when they do their makeup, like how there's like contour makeup in like real life where you kind of darken spots,
beauty from out of this world,
where you can like make your cheekbones more highlighted by putting like darker makeup there so it looks like a shadow. Well, they can just make shadows do what they want, and so it just looks good on them. So
that makes sense.
Like, so I wanted her to look very very attractive, and I thought an interesting way of like mages flaunting that ability to the plebeians was to have them wear more revealing clothes. I felt like it made sense, and then I also kind of wanted to make the story a little bit Germanic, so I was like, is there any way you could make it sort of look like a dirndl, and then like a Germanic dress? And then he did, and then he kind of went with like kind of so it was an awesome process of putting the piece together.
Genuinely did a great job.
Yeah,
that's some good looking art.
Yeah, it was fun to work on.
Smacked on your novel. Thanks. And now they can bundle it with our comic. Yes, the double book bundle.
Yes.
So that's some fun stuff right there. Thank you for the donation again, Robert. Put more artwork up. Money in the bank. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for your donation as well, Alpha Suma. Excited for the comic. I hope this $20 helps contribute to her hair care. Maybe it will cover the hair wash. There you go.
Yeah.
That'll
be a lot of conditioner.
Endlessly voluminous hair. It does look pretty though. I don't have very voluminous hair myself. I've got very thin hair. You have more voluminous hair than me.
But what do they call it? It's like, I don't know. Is fair hair? No, fair hair is like lighter hair, but it's like, I don't know, like lighter in color. But
interesting.
I like your hair.
Well, thank you. Thin as a whips.
It like moves, which is
does move.
If it was like super super thick and heavy, it would just be like.
Your hair moves.
It'd be like low budget anime hair, where it just like turns and they turn, doesn't move.
Oh boy. She kind of looks like a Norse Valkyrie to me, but I might be biased because I'm obsessed with Valkyries. Perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Little girl in a great big world, yes, in response to Vera. Just waiting to see who gets the Genwin art. You and us all included.
Don't worry, I can add more original art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my beautiful art skills.
You'll contribute to the original art poll here. All the other pieces sold out immediately.
I was saying
Genwin is all alone over here.
I was saying it might like clutter up the page or whatever, but I was saying it'd be funny if I did 25-cent like add-on art, and it's just like hand drawn by me, just like.
Oh yes, only the best. You can, for like the first backer who did the double book bundle or got your book, you can do a little drawing on the inside.
Oh man!
A special, one-of-a-kind Adam Meisner art piece.
I'm not gonna draw on the inside of the book. I don't want to ruin my book with my horrible art.
But you're making it special.
I could draw it on a separate piece of paper and then put it in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone who gets my my book, maybe I'll draw a god awful picture and be like, from the writer.
And that is all I do. I write. That is all I can do, in fact.
I was pretty proud of how great Genwin came out, though. That was the one I drew, not you.
Not mine, no. Mine is no good.
The eyes are all like.
Yeah, I also love how, like, in the original cover, they're both looking towards the same spot, and then in yours, he's just looking right at her boobs.
Is he?
Yeah, he definitely is. Let me pull that back up. Definitely looking right at the boobies.
What are you talking about? I think Trish is just a pervert. That's where her eyes were going on my drawing.
Yeah.
My beautiful, no, not a drawing, an illustration. He's making eye contact. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, is that so? Is he, what do you think, guys? Is he making eye contact?
The boobs are just in the way.
I think he's being distracted.
Guys, do you like the moss, by the way? Do you like my moss effect? That's the moss on his shoulders.
Very good. Very good job.
And these are the twigs. Yeah. And look how good the grass is. You know, Trisha, you know, she draws grass like whatever. But me, if you look really close at grass, that's what it looks like. And so I was like, well, that's what I should draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your own 2 hands just rolled up your sleeves.
So Trisha's like thinking like, well, the grass is over there, and that's what it looks like. It looks like that over there, so I'm just gonna draw it like that. But me, oh no, I got right next to the grass. That's what it looks like.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not looking at the same spot at all. Not even close.
Yeah, you know, the eyes look too goofy, and I was like, oh no, I gotta fix it. People might not
not believe you that this is the very.
I forgot about her mouth.
She doesn't need one.
What do you think of the Archer though? Doesn't she look so
happy face? I didn't notice that before.
Doesn't she look so happy and
she's got the
skinny?
happiest fucking face.
Yeah, and I was trying to, you know, I was thinking like, you like how like the fingers, it's like you know, she's like, you can see the bow between the fingers. Isn't that a lot of great detail?
It's very good. You've got a lot to be proud of here.
Yeah, I made her, as you can see, she's skinnier than Astrid. She's an elf, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how great Vera came out, though. Look at that. Look at this magical effect. also known as the spray can.
Yep. You really blew your budget out on this one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you like how I connected the sword to the
Very well done.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at that big grin.
That is a knightly grin right
Isn't that
there.
perfect? Yeah, it's perfect. And the teeth, see? It's all separated, so they're teeth. Yeah.
Yes. Every artist knows to separate the teeth individually.
And he's even got buttons. Look how high detail Genwin is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you had done an illustration, if you had done original art of Genwin this good, that would have been the first one to sell. But
Yeah, that's what it is.
should have had me do my Genwin. Isn't that beautiful?
That would have, yeah, that one would have sold. Mine's no good. Mine won't sell.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I was saying we should do original art of my illustration, just printed out on like printer paper. Like wait till the printer's running out of ink, so for full authenticity.
Yep. That would be beautiful. I'm sure people would want it. Just for the lulz.
Someone was asking if that's going to be hardcover. Yeah, it's going to be hardcover. How many pages? It's going to be 360 pages.
For Slayer in the Wide Valley.
Yes.
Horizon Quest is not going to be that much. That would be a lot of work. That would be a lot of work to lose.
Such realistic trees. Well done, Adam. See?
Yes. My eyes are up here. They just happen to be in the way of the face.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He's looking through the boobs. He has X-ray vision. He's looking through the boobs and to her eyes.
Yeah.
Finally, an artist that understands grass.
I know.
Yeah, talk about touching grass.
Yeah, Trisha, she doesn't know about grass.
Oh, I don't know anything about grass. No. I've never seen a grass in my whole life.
Yeah. Sounds substantial. Nice. Glad you think so.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We're offering a whole lot on this campaign page. Want to make sure everyone's happy.
It's a fairly meaty story, I feel like. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. I've been spending a lot of time like I'm done editing. I'm done. I'm not gonna it's fine. Because there's like this thing where you just go in a loop of like if you just let yourself go in a loop of editing, and you're always looking for something to change, you start to change stuff that doesn't need changing, that makes it start to get worse.
Overthinking it, yeah.
And when you read writing that's been over edited, it feels like this like folded like paper. It's been folded and unfolded and like put back in someone's pocket over and over again until it starts to like little bits start to come off. It just feels overworked. So yeah, no, I'm happy with it. But what I have been doing is working on the kerning, the spacing between the letters of the chapter titles and stuff. Try to get them just right.
Yeah, that's like its own type of skill.
So it looks really pretty.
Yeah, right. You have been working on quite a bit to make sure that your novel looks as pretty as possible.
I need the Meisner cover. Yeah.
Thanks for the donation, Mr. Scott. Both of your signatures and a chance to get Adam's original artwork sold. Grabbed the ultimate bundle and cannot wait to read these fantasy stories.
Well, I guess.
Well, now you need to.
I guess I've got it. Yeah.
Put a little bit of Adam Meisner original art. That should be like a stretch goal. I just make you do like hundreds of original art pieces. Give everyone an Adam Meisner original.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because we spent a lot of time thinking like, what do we want for stretch goals? And it's tricky stuff. Because you don't want to do something that's too expensive if you want to be able to make it available to all physical backers. You don't want something too bulky that you would have to ship out separately, etc., etc.
Hot kerning.
Yeah, thanks for the donation, Alpha Suma. Hot kerning talk. Very sexy looking story you got there, Adam. All right, let's do another refresh. Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, went past 900. Not too shabby.
It's awesome.
27 backers.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, are we doing? What are the stretch goals?
The stretch goals that I have up is at our main goal is 5,000, right? But that's all the way at the bottom. Give me a second here. At 6,000, you're gonna get some extra content added to the comic.
Okay, we are doing trading cards. For the trading cards, what do you guys think about doing some sort of like unglued effect on it instead of like, something for because it wouldn't work as like a proxy for whatever because it'd be too general or whatever. But like if we had some kind of funny like I guess you don't know what unglued is, but it's like it was a set for Magic from like back in the day when it was all like goofy. It was like all goofy stuff. Like you banish your opponent to under the table. He has to continue playing under the table, and so like your opponent is like supposed to like sit on the floor and like play, like peeking over the table that like what's going on. And it was just like a goofy set.
Goofy, yeah.
Yeah, apparently they like a comic book shop I used to frequent. They would run Magic tournaments, and then they had to stop doing unglued because there was like fights and stuff. Like people were getting mad at each other and stuff.
Get under the table.
I don't know what there's some of the cards are a little bit like you have to buy me a soda or whatever, and it's like that's you're gonna have problems.
You gotta be playing with like really good friends who can appreciate a joke if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, but like strangers at a tournament, especially like nerds that maybe
if you're actually demanding a soda from a stranger,
I could see
you're crazy.
Yeah, I could see that becoming a problem.
Oh yeah.
And then there's so I think some of the cards are like tear up this card or tear up your opponent's card or something.
Oh no.
Now you're getting into dangerous territory.
A very dangerous territory. You're gonna get shot.
I know there was like there's like the chaos confetti thing. There's a card where it's like you flip it, like there's a real card where you're supposed to flip it, and then whatever it lands on, it gets destroyed. And then someone won a tournament once by tearing it up into a million pieces and then dropping it over his opponent's cards.
And then they were like, well, you didn't say you couldn't do that.
For the parody set, they made chaos confetti, which is like tear this card up and sprinkle it over your opponent's cards. Everything touches destroyed, like as a reference to that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I was thinking like it might be funny to do like the characters and then have like have the card be like banishment of like up manga up or whatever, where there's all the censorship and you just have the whole party but then like censor everything ridiculously, and then it's like place this card over the art of one of your opponent's cards
to censor them.
To censor them. They should be ashamed of themselves or something.
Yeah.
Something goofy.
The titty police. That'll be what the card's called. Just a big black bar you put over other people's cards. Get under here, Scorpion, probably. Yeah, that's how it went down.
Yeah,
can confirm. Stickers is easy. Yeah, stickers is always easy. Flat things usually pretty darn easy. Included in the same box that you're shipping the comics with, Yeah,
we were looking at options, and I thought the best option would be a custom Horizon Quest umbrella, but like a golf umbrella.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit. We kept trying, but it wouldn't get in there.
Just like a giant umbrella. It's like, yeah, that's fine. It'll probably fit in the same package.
Yeah.
Like if you when you close an umbrella, it's like basically just like folded paper, so it should be fine. Yeah.
Imagine getting the umbrella and actually just folding it. Just forcefully folding it in half.
You just get a bunch of pieces of broken metal.
We just get the mace. Then spitefully put it in your box. Like, you wanted this?
Oh, you know, it'd be another great backer tier. Something liquid, perishable, and hazardous. every
yes,
time,
perfect.
every time I go to like mail out,
The packages.
yeah, mail out orders, the lady's like, "Is there anything liquid, perishable, hazardous in here?" And it's like, "No." And she's like, "You sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." You see me all the time.
There's this one lady at the post office who's just like, I don't know, particular.
Like,
She always looks at you like you're breaking the law or something with shipping something out. I don't know what her deal is.
I was mailing out my I guess now I am a partner in the soap company, but my dad started a soap company, and like I was mailing out an order, and the lady was like, look, anything look perishable, like hazardous, and I was like, no, I don't think so. And then she's like, you have to know what's in the package. I'm like, whoa, it's a bar of soap, lady. It's fine. It it is perishable, but it's like in 2 years or something. You can still use soap after like 2 years, but I don't know. My dad's like, oh, it won't like foam as well. It won't lather as well.
Yeah,
it's no good.
Perishable.
It's expired. Yeah.
Yeah, so. But it still works fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something about that one lady. She's just.
It's been a couple of people.
Every other person that I go to mail off books to, they're like, fine, they're cool. Like I just drop them off, and they're like, okay, that's all you wanted. Have a good day. It's nice and simple. But if it's her, she makes me stay to go through the whole rigmarole of what's in this. Are you sure this is media mail? Are you sure that it qualifies?
Oh, yeah.
She's very particular. I don't know what it is about our faces. I think she's like that with everyone.
I've had like 2 people give me problems.
Oh yeah. For me, it's just been that one lady. Everyone else is cool. Oh, thanks for the donation, Matterhorn. Book looks awesome, guys. I don't read comics much, but even I had to get it.
Aww.
Also, off topic, but thanks for recommending Angel Next Door. It actually got me back into anime after 20 years. That's a long time to be out of anime.
Angel Next Door is super solid.
Good, yeah.
That's like a 100% watch that with your girlfriend kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just genuinely wholesome. No super over the top weirdness.
I wouldn't like necessarily use it as like instructions or like dating advice, but like it's a good show.
Yeah, it's the type of show that makes you feel good after watching it, and that's important, especially these days.
Yeah.
And it's funny, one of the comments that I got for like a video that I did on Angel Next Door is that like the anime cut out some stuff for the last couple episodes to like speed up the romance. So they're saying, oh, well, light novels were better. You gotta read light novels for the extra content. And I'm like, ooh, perhaps. I'm not a light novel reader, but I would read the light novels for Angel Next Door because I like it that much. And that's genuinely saying something.
I like really loved the anime for Grimgar Fantasy and Ash.
Yes.
And then I got the light novel and I was like,
well, it's just that the directing of the anime was decent.
It's such a tragedy whenever you have something that's like some combination of like incredibly talented people put something together that's like really nice, but they're not the writer or someone who gets like a ton of credit for a thing. And so
there's so many uncredited roles that contribute to making a show or even a book as great as it is. And it's quite a shame, honestly. But that's kind of how a lot of Japan is. They just have so many uncredited people working on stuff who are just like working there for the experience. And, they'll have a big part in what makes it so amazing.
Yeah, like Garden of Words English dub had a different speech at the end from the Japanese. And I read the original script and it's not there. Like run it through a translator. It's different. It's even like not even like translation differences. They just bring up different things.
The way that they word it.
Yeah.
They're like getting the same point across, but they're doing it
and
much
I figured
more
out I nailed down who it had to have been who did it. But they didn't do anything else. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like
they don't have other writing credits.
They have credits of doing something similar in other like things, but essentially they don't like it's just, you know, they don't have like a social media for me to follow or anything. So it's like it's like unless I was hiring someone to do a similar job, you know, I wouldn't really. And it's kind of it's when people get lost in the shuffle like that. It's always like such a shame. Like there have been short stories for in like lore entries in games where I've been like, that's really good. Like that's a really good use of space. Just like in Secret World, there was the codex entries for golems. It tells this little story each time you get a little codex entry.
Oh, nice.
And it was such a nice use of like it was 1 or 2 lines per codex entry, and it comes together as this really tight story, really really good for having so few lines, like 10 lines total, something like that, or maybe 20. Maybe it was like 2 lines per on average, but.
Yeah, another funny thing about Garden of Words is for that like ending, I'll just call it speech scene for like
monologue.
Yeah, the monologue. The sound design was not nearly as well thought through because you can kind of barely hear them. You have to really strain your ears.
The sound
over
design
the rain.
was a nightmare. What the fuck were they doing? You had to really like listen, but
like, and he's yelling in the scene too. That's the funny part.
Yeah, the speech is like
the speech is good. It goes to show you like some people are very talented at what they do. Other people maybe not so much.
Yeah, and like the delivery was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, the voice actor was good.
Yeah, I thought that all just came to the whole movie. I don't know if I'd recommend, but that ending
the
monologue,
movie is kind of weird.
I think
it's like pederasty or something.
Oh yeah, it's like it's one of those stories where it's like it's an older teacher and then he's like younger, and then feet.
Yeah, feet. Yeah. Also,
I think
feet.
it's the guy.
It's not nearly as wholesome as the angel next door.
I think the guy. Yeah, it's like I think it's like a middle school. Like he's very young and he's.
Oh, I thought it was high school.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Well, he's like trying to plan out his career plan throughout the movie, and he wants to do shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the feet.
And people were treating it as like a weird career path to hand make shoes. It's like, I mean, it's a job. Like, and then
people want shoes,
and then there's all these people like, oh, I'd love for him to hand make me some shoes. And
well, you know, once you see the shoes that he did make at the end, kind of makes sense. He's not very good at it,
right? But it doesn't matter.
It's like fucked.
No, but it's like I don't know. It's just like people. If people like the idea of it, you're still making money, even if you the kind of stuff.
Sure.
It's also again, he's like just starting, I guess. So he's like,
hopefully he gets better. He like makes her some clown shoes by the end of the movie.
Yeah, but like, there's one like
shoes symbolize you walking forward.
But he's like it's like a character who's like in conflict over having this sort of unconventional career path, and then he's talking to this teacher that he didn't know was a teacher, and then he feels like betrayed when he finds out that she's like much older than him. And then there's one line.
He knew that she was older than him.
Yeah.
But he thinks very poorly of teachers. Like so, she was just giving him the teacher spiel, and then she didn't actually believe in him. She's just like, oh, little kid, I'll let them do what they want.
So he's like yelling in the rain, and he's like, so tell me, goddammit, tell me that little boys should run along to school. And I was like, oh, that's such a nice like delivery and a nice line.
You're right.
Yeah, it was that was a solid little something. It's just I don't think the whole movie's writing is necessarily that good, but
I hope that particular guy, he did like 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words.
Don't watch 5 centimeters per second.
Don't watch it. And he did Your Name, which was the big one.
Yeah.
And that was pro romance. And then after that, he did Withering with You. That was it. And that one was not very good.
So he said in an interview where he's like, I don't like to have the romances work out because I don't find it realistic. And it's like, where'd you come from?
He said something of that nature where he's like, he doesn't feel like people should end up together in anime movies because it wasn't realistic.
But it's like, where'd you come from? Two people got together. Obviously, like, there's so many fucking people. There's so many examples of it working out.
Your Name was the only movie that I had seen of his where like the people actually get together, which is why it was my favorite.
I think it's because it was a higher budget and they pressured him to do that.
Maybe. That could very well be the reason. I don't know about the newest film that he was coming out with. It's called Suzume Locking of Doors or something of that nature.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be cute and funny.
Long hair
but
protagonist.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it at some point. It's, I believe, releasing over here in America sometime this month, actually. Do you want to see it in theaters? Yeah, I don't know.
No, maybe.
It looked like it could be funny. I don't know. I don't know if he's learned his lesson about people wanting to see two people have a relationship work out. But hopefully, because I did genuinely enjoy Your Name. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah. But I don't want to see a depressed Weathering with You where it's like global warming, man.
Finishing, like, I was watching I wrote a romance book, and I wanted to consume as much romance content as humanly possible, just to make sure that I kind of understood what the market was and not just what I wanted to read.
It's a good idea.
And I came across like 5 centimeters per second, and I like start watching it, and like the song in the beginning is a little bit like ding dong ding, like Kingdom Hearts main menu, and I was like,
sure.
Suspicious. But I watched it, and the end is like like it's so like
it's just depressing.
Yeah, it's just depressing. It's just like
Yeah. There's definitely a market, especially in anime, where people like want to see those super depressing, edgy endings. But I just feel like if that's all you consume, it can't be good for your brain.
Yeah, it's such an easy market, I think, to put cute stuff in front of girls.
Yeah.
So why not put cute romance in front of girls? I just feel like.
So why not put cute, depressing romance in front of girls?
It's funny, like the female market with like anime is bizarre, because I think there's like a huge stigma with like nerdy stuff still. Like there's I don't know. I've lived through girls being like super nasty for like enjoying nerdy stuff, and then like it just like they were told that they could be popular by liking it, and then like it just flipped, and they're like,
I like nerdy things.
Why don't you like the thing? Or oh my god, like people would like come up to me and be like, oh, I like video games too, and I was like, okay, like what games? And she's like, oh,
Candy Crush Saga.
She like literally couldn't name a single one. I was like, well, what's your favorite? And she's like, huh, that's an interesting question. I was like, what's a single game you've played? She's like, I don't really know. I was like,
huh? You don't know?
So did you play a game? An older brother who played Halo, who wanted you to stand behind a rock so that he could respawn on you in co-op in Halo? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I got that on my first shot. That was first shot, nailed it.
You knew exactly what kind of gaming experience she had. To be fair, I didn't have that much gaming experience myself until like way later in my life, because
I corrupted her.
Yeah, well, it's more so just like I had a lot of guilt in spending money for things for myself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I didn't deserve this. I don't deserve to have fun.
Wow.
It's just one of those mentalities. But boy, have I broken out of it. And now I have a whole lot of games on Steam that I have yet to play.
Yeah.
Just invested a whole lot of money in those. Hopefully we'll play them all on Game Fans, I guess.
So it's so nice to see you like enjoying yourself playing games and stuff.
Yeah, I guess you can have fun in life.
There was a girl with, like, speaking of Sailor Moon, there was a girl who was like, why do you like anime? It's like dumb or whatever. It's like and the first thing I said was like, there's no way you didn't watch Sailor Moon. She's like, yeah, what does that have to do with it? He was like, they don't know what anime is.
It doesn't click in their brain. I didn't know that Spirited Away was an anime movie until like later. Because when I first watched it, it's just something that like my mom or my dad like pirated on it. They didn't buy it in stores. They just like pirated online. They're like, oh, this is popular. Trisha will probably like this. And then, it was also like released, the English version was released by Disney. So at first I assumed, oh, it's a Disney movie, but it doesn't look like other Disney movies. Like something was off in my head about it. But then later I figured out, oh, it's anime. Got it. They're all connected, Game fan love.
Matterhorn is like mobile gamers aren't gamers, damn it.
According to Adam Ruins Everything, they're all the same and should be treated equally. Okay. One is totally not some sort of gambling addiction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mobile gaming is like really it's not great. I was in a class and they were showing us like some indoctrination film where they were like, I didn't know what it was. It was a class about video games. God, was I naive thinking that it would be good. So the whole class was just like, just hating on people who play video games and like, white people and everything. And they play a video and they're like, and the first, it's a bunch of people going like, and then what they do, right? It's like, I game on Xbox. And I was like, okay. I was just like, it was just kind of a funny thing for someone to scream at a camera. And I was like, all right. I was like, and nothing wrong with Xbox. I played on Xbox for plenty of years. It's fine. Whatever.
Game on Xbox. Me.
And then someone was like, I game on PC. And I was like,
all right.
And then someone was like, I game on Mac. And I was like,
hold up.
I was like, what? I laughed. And the teacher like snapped, like glared at me. I was like, this game's on Mac. Like, what? Why don't
something isn't right here?
I was like, what are you like? It's like she's proud of it. It's like, if you like, there's nothing wrong with like, having a Mac or liking that OS, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, or like if you have the computer because you like it better, and then you're like, well, got to figure out how to get games to work on this.
Yeah.
But like, it was just such a, because the actor doesn't obviously, but they're just like, or maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe there's a lunatic.
I used to do some games on Mac, but as you can imagine, they don't work very well on Mac.
It's also, that's like, I know it's much better, but it's almost like the comparison would be like, I game on like Linux, and it's like you like it's more annoying to get a lot of games to work. Cause it's just, man, it's already annoying to get it to work on Windows, but
if you ever saw, I think the videos are up on Game Fans now. They used to be on this main channel though, but I did the KFC dating simulator and I did that on my Mac, and the fan was like crazy. Way too much for a dating simulator game.
But anyway, then the fourth person was like, I game on iPhone, and I was like, whoa, okay, all right. don't get any ideas thinking you're people over there.
You're not even human beings.
I just thought it was a funny thing to like really proud this girl, like really, like I didn't realize that I don't know why I didn't pick up on it, but it was all girls. I didn't think about it. I was just like,
game on my phone.
And yeah, I was just like, whoa.
Angry Birds.
I like lost it when they said I game on iPhone, like super proud, and then they said a bunch of other systems, so I can't remember. It was just like, what are you, mobile gaming?
I play Elden Ring on my phone.
I game on Facebook. Like, oh boy.
I game on BuzzFeed.
I game on BuzzFeed.
I game on Neopets.
Oh man. I game on Internet Explorer.
That's so good. That might be what they meant by I game on PC.
Maybe.
I game on Mac. It's like, well, that's the computer.
There was other normal stuff like PlayStation or something, but it was just like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
It was just like I game on iPhone, and I was like, whoa, okay. Right. The Mac lady, I was like, but not you. No, get out of here.
I think you're thinking of very different types of games.
Unless you're some kind of like mad scientist, you have like a Raspberry Pi hooked up to your freaking iPhone. You're like playing
it's like
Crisis.
One of those challenge runs playing Elden Ring on the iPhone. You tap to roll.
Like you have some souped up iPhone where you've like ripped out the back and there's a graphics card jammed into it.
You have to do the screenshot combo to attack.
Man. Yeah, parry is screenshot.
It makes the screenshot noise when you do it.
Yeah, I game on Tamagotchi.
That's a good one. Oh boy.
I've
Yeah.
heard, not to nerd, but Steam based on Linux plays most games really well. I've heard that Linux is different. Yeah, like now it's different. But at the time, like it was at the time I saw this video, it was like before the Steam. It was before they announced even like the Steam box or whatever, like the first iteration of that. But yeah, I've heard that it's a lot different now, and it gives me hope because eventually I'm gonna have to jump ship from Windows. It's like I don't expect it to get better. So I'm just hoping
we need more operating systems out there.
I'm
We
just
really
hoping.
do.
I'm just you know why we don't, right? Like
Yeah, the monopolies and whatnot.
I'm just hoping by the time Windows gets so unbearable I can't stand it, Linux is like better, you know? But for now,
You got to work with what you have for now. I never realized The Last Unicorn was animated by people who went on to do Nausicaa until recent. I didn't know that either. I find that very interesting.
I feel like
so. Thanks for your little tidbit right there.
I feel like you knew that buried in your consciousness somewhere because you watched like a 2-hour documentary.
Yeah,
on
someone
The Last
mentioned
Unicorn.
that the human design of the main character was based on like more anime-like features. Although I would argue that like kind of a lot of faces in the movie were based on kind of more anime-like features. But yeah. I've heard people like criticize that about The Last Unicorn, is that like her human form looks too anime and that it looks out of place from the rest of the movie. I mean, she kind of is supposed to look a bit out of place because she's supernaturally beautiful, but I don't think it looks too jarring myself. I don't know. I guess at one point you need to watch The Last Unicorn since it's like it's known for being like this really good 80s fantasy film.
I know that in that 2-hour documentary you were watching on it, they talked about that quite a few times. Forgot to edit out repeats from their script.
Oh, you know, Renee DeLiz. I think she worked on the Last Unicorn comic.
Oh,
fun fact! She
awesome.
did fan art for Horizon Quest.
I know that was so nice.
Yeah, it was very nice of her.
We got a TI-83 gamer in chat.
I game on iPod. I do the guess the song game. I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. Variety gamer here, at least according to my Twitter profile.
I don't know what a Tiger Electronics is, but I'm gonna find out.
Oh yeah, I came on Tiger Electronics. I think they're just doing like crazier and crazier like things to say.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah! Dude, I want one of those. We need to go to a retro store and buy those.
Yeah.
Let's show it to the camera.
All right, so we're getting real old school over here. We're just holding a phone onto the camera.
They can see it, sort of.
Oh, okay. Hold on, we got
the Little Mermaid. We got Sonic the Hedgehog.
Dude, did I see X-Men?
X-Men? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I want a game on that.
This is on GameStop.com. What? Can I buy this from GameStop?
You want to buy it?
New for $20? What's going on?
I mean, I imagine that the graphics aren't going to be fantastic, but
is this what the next gen consoles look like? Been out of the loop for a little bit.
I mean, a lot of stores are like selling the retro style game things, the handhelds, you know. A lot of we were in like CVS or Target.
I think there's more parents who are like, I shouldn't be allowing my kid to play tablet or like.
You shouldn't allow your kid to be playing anything that goes online type thought process.
Those games, the games where when you die, they say if you pay money, you don't have to die, is a bad lesson.
That's really bad
for kids.
Yeah.
Because I think that puts a lot of anxiety about money into kids that they don't need. Like.
That's the only thing about the arcades. I love the arcades, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of rough if that's your first experience playing games.
We saw that super cute arcade that was like $20 or $30 admission,
Yeah.
and then it was like play as many
All
games
these
as you want.
retro games,
And they
and you
had
play
an,
as much as you want.
well, they had a
They
big
probably have some limitations. Like if you're on one game for a long time and there's a line, they'll probably be like, "Hey, you got to go play another game."
There was a big variety. There wasn't just retro games. There was a
They
lot
had
of
the
retro games,
original Duck Hunt.
I know. I was gonna say they had a little round carpet and then old tube TV
It was
set
so
up
cute.
with Duck Hunt, and it was adorable.
We got to go back there sometime.
Yeah,
That does look like a genuine fun. I'd rather, you know, parents take their kids to something like that, or, you know, Disney Quest back when that was a thing. But no more Disney Quest.
Disney Quest was it was my happy place.
I know, honey.
Like, it was just so, you know, the world was better knowing that Disney Quest was out there somewhere. Although it did get its revenge from the grave. They replaced, so Disney Quest was a multi-story arcade made by Disney that it was flooded with arcade cabinets and all sorts of arcade games that were all maintained really, really well. So like all the knobs and stuff on like Space Invaders, or was it not Space, Asteroid and stuff like that, were very smooth and oiled, and all the buttons were very, like, they'd pop up really well, and everything was very well maintained, super clean. Everything was Disney nice. And they were all the games were free. You just push this little white plunger at the bottom. It would just put another. Because
you already paid admission, you might as well just let.
And I'm sure the admission was like.
And it keeps people from like backing up the lines, or at least that was the thought process. All the lines on the other rides, you know, while you're waiting, or while you're waiting for the line to go down, you can go into the arcade and play some other games.
And there was a bunch of like VR experiences, like when it first came out, not like a couple years ago. I mean, like very long ago, when I was very little, I played VR games, and they had to be attached to the ceiling by a crane, by not a construction crane, but you know what I mean, like a string that comes down from the ceiling and has like a pulley to make it lighter because it was just too heavy. And so turning left and right was very difficult. You really had to use the muscles in your neck to like really turn. And the visor came out like maybe this far.
That's pretty far.
Yeah. And so and then there was this clicky thing in the back, and it was super cool. There was they didn't own Star Wars, and so there was a non-Star Wars lightsaber thing where you'd fight in VR, and you know, it was very difficult as a kid because it was like, you know,
heavy.
It wasn't the weight. It was that the lightsaber was being yanked into the receiver, because if you drop it, they want it to get not on the floor.
Gotcha.
So it was like you had to really pull up, you know, and it was not scaled to children, and so I couldn't reach most of the enemies. Like the lightsaber didn't reach far enough, and so most of the time I was like this, trying to lean forward in the chair and against the restraints, trying to, you know. And there was this walker that you'd get into, and there'd be like seats in the walker, in different, like a circular room, and there'd be seats you'd get into that would be different guns on different sides of this big walker, and you'd be trying to rescue scientists on this alien planet, and you'd have the guns, and then we get shot from some other side, and you'd get up out of your seat, which you're probably not supposed to do, and then climb into that seat and start shooting from that side of the machine. And it was so cool. My dad would drive. He'd always drive.
Of course.
He was driving the walker around, and then there was, my favorite was the second adaptation of Pirates of the Caribbean was not the movie, it was the ride in Disney Quest, because the first version is the ride, and then they made the ride in Disney Quest. You'd walk onto this like little boat. It's like, you know, it's like a small room, and it had TVs all over, and you'd have these 3D glasses, so it turns into 4D because there's TVs on every side.
Right.
So you could see stuff go over. And then there was cannons on the sides, and you'd pull the strings to shoot at the TV screens. And then my dad would drive. Obviously, he'd drive the boat. We'd be going around shooting pirate ships. And I discovered that you didn't have to yank the cord all the way. It was just this one point where it would trigger. So you just get it tight so that it's right at the triggering point, and there was no cooldown. There was no cooldown on how fast you could shoot. And so you could just go like that, and you'd be shooting machine gun cannonballs, like, you know, spraying it across the Caribbean. It was there was a bunch of like, there was bumper cars in the basement that were Buzz Lightyear themed for whatever reason, and you would like you'd drive over basketballs, and you'd pick them up from this compartment they'd come into, and then you'd load them into a cannon, close the cannon and then push a button, and it would launch them out with like a air cannon at other bumper cars. And if you hit the target on the other bumper cars, they would spin out. And so, like, you know, we would, of course, you know, the one time my mom wanted to see Disney Quest, it was my mom and dad and me and Brian, and then we pinned them against the wall and shot them, and then backed up over another thing and shot them again as soon as they were done.
Just
and
torturing your parents.
We were just like slamming them into the wall over and over again. We pinned them sideways; they couldn't shoot back.
Oh my god!
They didn't get us a single time, and my mom was like, "Oh, the ride was terrible. We kept on spinning." Like, she didn't even understand that we were the ones that were doing it. And my dad is like.
That's so funny.
And you could dodge people because you could like swerve out of the way of the ball and then turn and shoot them. You know, it was very cool.
That does sound really cool.
And they knocked it down, replaced it with an ESPN sports bar that cost like a couple $1 million to build this giant sports bar.
Stupidest decision.
Went out of business, got demolished. Get fucked.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it now, but yeah, that was really dumb. That was a huge waste of money, and Disney does not need to waste any more money, as we see, especially now.
Yeah.
Reap what you sow, right?
Adam's actually toxic Lamau. Yeah, no, it was so little. My brother was driving. It wasn't my idea. I was only shooting the cannon.
Conspired together. But
Brian
yeah,
was like, shoot him again.
I see other more modern arcades and I like weep at them because they're all just these scam arcade games. They're all just trying to get your money, like those crane games and the light up games for tickets that aren't, you know, you're not nearly going to get enough to actually buy something you want.
We've been into a couple arcades where it was a lot of mostly gambling games.
I was really disappointed. You know, Universal has an arcade section, I think, in studios. And I saw that and I was like, ooh, that could be fun. And then it's all fucking scam games. It's just nothing worth playing at all. No real games, really. It's just...
I remember being little and then seeing like the new Time Crisis, whatever number it was. And when you shoot the gun, the thing goes back. And I was like, this is the best thing that has ever existed. Every time you shoot. And then a friend of mine got it on like PS3 or something like that. And it had the motion control thing because, like, I don't know, they're trying to compete with the Wii for some god awful reason. And the gun didn't go chikunk. Like, it didn't have the reciprocating slide or whatever. And I was like, man, that's really different. It's bad. And he was like, whoa, who cares? And I was like, you don't know. You don't understand. You gotta go down the shore. You gotta go chikunk.
You gotta touch sand.
Yeah. And then like there's always like the House of the Dead where they have some weird gun like an MP5 or something. And it's like, that's got to be a better game, right? Because you're holding the cooler gun.
You would think,
yeah, but no, I think probably I don't think this is a controversial statement. I think Time Crisis is just the best franchise of those games. Yeah, I think probably, right?
I really liked in the arcade games, the games that I would really like to play is the driving. Big driving seat, right? And you have the pedals down below. Those were always super fun for me. And it's an experience that you would only be able to really get at an arcade. You know, they tried to kind of fashion up a system that you could take home with you. You know, you got the Wii, and you also have these other like games where they do like the like driving controllers they have in your lap, but it's never the same. It's never quite exactly the same. And arcades should really capitalize on that.
The experience.
Yes, giving the experience of enjoying a type of game that you wouldn't be able to enjoy at home because it gives people a reason to come.
Speaking of, they got rid of the Void, that whole thing?
Yeah. Oh, we found that out.
What on earth? Like, I thought it was
fucking
just
stupid. It was the only thing at like the
So
it was the only thing at Disney Springs that was like worth it.
Yeah, so Downtown Disney.
Yeah, Downtown.
Actually, Disney. Downtown Disney is dead because Disney Quest is gone, and
now it's Disney Springs, and it's all stores and all like trashy.
They pump so much money into Marvel that's just like going downhill. Like Marvel just costs them money, but like so they had a cute idea that was new that wasn't there when I was little, which was a dress fitting shop called like. Oh god, it was something after like Sleeping Beauty. It was like
is to make you like
for like
princess.
Little girls, dress them up in a princess dress, and you'd have like a seamstress, and I'm sure it's not very like detailed in how they're fitting the dress to the girl, but they have someone with the ruler, and she's like, oh wow,
They
like,
make it into an experience. Like, I'm gonna wave my magic wand and go into the back and get you your dress that I made with magic.
And it's just going to be like a random size. Like, it's just going to be the size that it comes in. It's like one size, but she's got
like,
the ruler.
While she's like doing the measurements, she's like looking at the back on your tag. Like, yes, I got
and she
this.
has a magic wand with her apron and stuff. And I thought that was the most adorable thing. And I wanted to just like go in and be like, oh, this is so cute. What you guys do? And just like ask them about it. Cause it's just cute. And it was closed because I guess it wasn't making enough money. And it's like, guys, why? You pump money into horrible stuff. Why not just lose money on the dress shop for a while? Like, why?
Well, they have a lot of good ideas that they just don't like market or sell well enough. And then instead of like fixing the actual problem, they just gut it completely. Like, that's the same thing with Disney Quest. They didn't have as much turnout as they wanted. Instead of fixing the problem, they gutted it.
Yeah, it's also the Aladdin. Speaking of racing, it was the Aladdin racing thing. You didn't get on a magic carpet; you got on a motorcycle. But
close enough.
You put the VR helmet on, and they tell you it's a carpet, and lean forward on your carpet to go faster.
Yeah.
But no. There was also a really cool thing, and there was a maze where there was a plexiglass walkway over the maze. There was several bridges that would cross over this maze. There were like plexiglass on the floor of the bridge, and then it was like you could look over and it would just be open top. And there'd be these RC cars that you could control with a camera. And then you would, I guess, go yell to your little brother to tell you where you are in the maze so you could get to the end. So someone else would go run around and lead you through the maze and tell you where to go left or right, and you would be controlling it at the wall far away from where you could see it, And that was just a cute little like cooperative thing.
That is nice.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff.
It's simple, but that's effective.
Yeah, we didn't explain and that's what you should do with an arcade. You should use your space to have an experience. Like the Void, Void
was decent.
Yeah, we did a VR thing that was like newer, where you could see your fingers moving, which is a big advancement. And Trisha was the tiniest stormtrooper. It was so cute. So
was a mini stormtrooper.
They measure your height or whatever, but like the stormtrooper does not scale with like being shorter, so it's like making everything smaller. So Trisha was this little munchkin stormtrooper, and my brother's tall, so it's like I was like super different stormtroopers. It's like we're supposed to be in disguise as stormtroopers, and it's like you're a little short for a stormtrooper. She's like so fucking tiny. Like everything is all like all the proportions are completely wrong. Like she's just like this like the hands on the stormtrooper were like so tiny because it had to scale.
Yeah, to explain, the Void was this VR Star Wars experience that was in the now currently Disney Springs, but they just decided to take all the fun stuff out of Disney Springs. Yeah. So it's not there anymore.
So you're supposed to be sneaking in, walking around, and then they have a section where you're on an elevator over like lava, and like you're being transported across, and they spray heat and the smell of like lava, so it feels really real. With the visor on, it feels like you're actually going over lava, and you physically walk around the room. It's VR that is in like a haunted house type setup where you're going.
They're taking you through the game, the game in the room, but you're wearing the VR.
And then you can go through like a stealth section or whatever. But we failed it instantly because I picked up the gun and you can shoot the gun by the trigger or a button on the side, and I just and you like physically in the game see the gun, you reach and pick it up. In the game, there's no button on the side, and so I just pick up the gun and I hit the button and it shoots the blaster, and they're like, "Oh no, our cover's blown!" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So then,
and I'm looking at you like, Adam, you blew our cover. They're gonna know we're not really stormtroopers.
You're physically aiming the blaster around, and spoiler alert, if you press the button and the trigger like alternating, you can shoot way faster than they intended you to, yet again. So you can really gun down some stormtroopers or droids or whatever we were shooting. And no, I think it's all robots because no violence, right? But Yeah, and you physically have to actually take cover, and if a piece of you is hanging out, you could get hit, and it like your backpack thing will buzz, feel like you got shot.
I heard Disney Springs is just an upmarket shopping district now.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
and they have a
I
cigar
would say
lounge.
it's even worse than an
It's-
upmarket shopping district. Yeah,
Imagine that Disney opening a cigar lounge.
They have a cigar shop and door wide open, blowing smoke into the
Yeah,
street.
it was like strong cigar
like
smoke,
a lot,
and there's no one in there. So where's it coming from?
It's just the employees like getting fucking high.
There was like I think maybe there was like one person in there or something, but it wasn't enough for the amount of. It's like they're blowing fans to blow the smoke out to get people to come in or something.
Like, ooh, smells so
but
good,
it's like,
right?
It was actual smoke because I have asthma. I could feel it in my lungs after.
Yeah, poor Adam.
I was like, after walking by, I could feel
destroyed.
the little effect. It was just a little bit of smoke, but I could feel it in my lungs. It wasn't like smoke fragrance. It was smoke. It was just like, we're in Disney. What the?
Yeah, and it's all just like shitty Gucci merch.
Yeah, and the
like
prices
brand named stuff with just Mickey Mouse on it, and it's like, what the? Who do you think is coming here?
Yeah,
who's this for? It just is confusing. And then they have, of course, with the modern Disney, they have signs in their windows with like LGBT stuff and like saying, hey, has no home here, or support trans kids, or whatever signs they're trying to support.
They had a couple
in Disney Springs.
They had a couple special flags going around. Yeah, we didn't spend any money though. We just my family was going to Disney. We went to Universal because Disney was just
were meeting up with your family there.
It was just
we
too
were
dark,
just so miserable while we were in Disney Springs. Like, this is why we didn't want to go to Disney World. Basically, it was the only thought that we had.
We were recording. I think my phone died, or your phone died.
My phone died in the middle of
we were recording. Trisha had just gotten out of an art gallery of like really bad art, like
Tumblr art.
It was all Tumblr art, and then bigger than the actual art piece was a giant picture of like the person, and then like how their
ethnic background,
their Latinx, like Latino, but with like an X instead.
Because their language is gendered, and that's pretty problematic for your language to be gendered.
Yeah, Disney says you're welcome. They fixed your hateful language, but. No, Trisha was
fixed your heritage for you.
Trisha was like giving it to them. She was giving her reaction like outside. She was like, and then her phone died, and I was like, oh, we should definitely do this later. That was like gold, but then we didn't. It was just like, I took a couple pictures of some of the
they had not a single art piece from the actual Disney movies. It was like all just fan art.
Yeah, it was fan art in weird styles. Yeah.
What the fuck is this? I can look at this on Tumblr. I can look at this online. That's not why you go to an art gallery based around Disney.
Do you want to see an obese Belle? We've got you.
Would you like to see a dark Aurora?
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on? Disney Springs is trash. It's not worth going there.
And yeah, the lion. There's a lion in the original Star Wars. I was trying to be like, aren't you short for Stormtrooper? And I like Trisha didn't remember the line, and I was like, I don't know if this is in the movie.
He kept on repeating it.
Yeah,
waiting for me to laugh.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I get it.
She was. Yeah, I wish I could have taken a picture in the visor or something. She was so tiny. It was so funny. It's like, it's just, I don't know. I guess, yeah, because it's like they, instead of taking the top of the picture and just going wide down, it was like the corner, so that everything was smaller, and it just looks so funny. It looked like you just, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I can imagine. All right, so back to campaign promoting, I suppose.
Yeah.
Campaign's still alive, guys. Horizon Quest, the comic that we've been working on and promoting for a while now. You can go and back the campaign and watch this number go up as we continue to make some money. 30 backers. Hey. We're almost at 1,000. Can we raise 1,000 in the first day? Can we do it? I think we can. I think we're pretty close.
I'll draw original art for anyone who's getting my book.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, original art of Genwin still up, guys.
Oh, I thought someone grabbed it.
And there's still some left for the Ultimate Bundle. What else do we got here?
Oh,
We
5
got
helmets. Nice.
double poster
Yeah.
bundle.
Show off the
You
helmet
get
again.
both posters. You get your signed copy of the comic. If you're overseas, you can get a digital PDF. And if you would like more reading material than just the comic, you can get the double book bundle. Receive the comic that we did together and
Yeah.
also his newest novel, Slayer in the Wide Valley. Both fantasy, both fantastic.
And the book also comes with the
Adam Meisner sword bookmarks.
Oh, yeah, that. No, but the Ultimate Bundle, right? Okay.
Yeah. Your
Awesome.
book is also included in the Ultimate Bundle.
Cool.
Ultimate Bundles are best when they include basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I find, anyway.
I remember early on with Kickstarter, not everyone did an Ultimate Bundle, and so I was like, oh, should I get this or that? It was like a very complicated choice.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why for some campaigns, I would call it the give me everything perk, where it's just like everything. If you just, want it all, do a one click, get everything that you need.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone out there has backed the In Search of Hannibal comic that Lindy Beige and Steinengert did. But allegedly, he finally has a completed script 10 years later.
Allegedly.
That's so funny.
That's been a long time coming.
Like Trisha will be like working on some project. She'll be like, "Oh, it's taking too long."
It's taking
whatever.
too long. I'm
I was
so
like,
upset.
at least it hasn't literally been a decade.
Fair enough.
Imagine, it's like imagine waiting on your writer for 10 years.
It's a very long time. Took longer than Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm. I remember talking about it in the same conversation that like the Cyberpunk teaser came out, So.
And you were like, I bet Cyberpunk's going to be done before this comic.
Yeah. Although I think it actually hasn't been 10 years. I think it was like 6 or 7 or something. It's not quite a decade, but
it's like close.
Getting there.
Close to a decade. I've definitely backed a few comics on Indiegogo that I've yet to receive. Just like backed them a couple years ago, and something's getting in the way of getting it completed. But luckily, you don't have to worry about Horizon Quest taking a long time because it's practically already done. It's like the main thing is just like doing the finishing touches and sending it off to the printer. And that's about it. Same thing with Slay in the Wide Valley. He's done. It's just finding a printer for it, basically.
Yeah.
So don't have to worry about being years and years late.
Yeah, I'm still
not with us. No,
I'm still like editing like the acknowledgements and like
right, but you're basically
and the chapter titles.
You're looking for printers, so you're basically
and
done.
The blurb on the back.
I thought you were done the blurb on the back.
Is it ever
truly done?
Truly done, yeah.
It's okay.
I think I don't know what people need to know on the back of the.
Well, they just need to get a general idea of like what to expect from the book. Oh yeah, are you talking about In Search of Hannibal? Yes.
In Search of Hannibal, yeah.
We were talking about that. Yes, the longest comic campaign just now received the script, and he's like, oh god. The artist, I mean.
I tell it like a horror story to Trisha.
It is a horror story.
You like shine the flashlight and it's like, imagine you're
10 years later, you receive the script.
The poor artist, because like imagine like he does comic art, and he's like in an era where like it's totally possible to do like to be an independent comic artist and like do like Indiegogos and stuff, and but like the first comic you do is that one that's like taking 10 years to finish, and it's like people are like, where is it? And it's like, it's been 7 years and he hasn't given, like he put out a video. He's like, I have 90% of the script, and she's just like, oh god, like getting anxiety listening to it, like it's not even done.
I feel like at least the script should be done if you're going to campaign for it. I know that it's a lot of work, but you should
Yeah.
know what the story is going to look like before you're like advertising it to other people. Like there's so many people out there that do an entire script and then like are trying to sell it to Hollywood. I feel like it's kind of the same deal when you're doing like crowdfunders. It's like you're trying to sell this idea to people so that you can make it a real thing.
Yeah.
So you should at the very least have that part done. Just my opinion.
I feel like at that point, that campaign should like they should email people to check if they still live in the same place, because like
yeah, they should do an update.
It's like
to
is it 7 years or something, or 10? It might actually be 10, because I think I remember talking about it in like 2011. I feel like I do. I feel like I was, yeah. I feel like I remember talking about it like then. So that would be, yeah, that'd be.
It'd be more than 10 years if it was 2011.
Maybe it wasn't then. I don't know.
2023 now, so.
That was the first time I saw Sargon of Akkad, because they did a live stream. That was my first introduction, was Lindy Beige doing a live stream of Sargon of Akkad.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I don't know how long it would be after, but, where the hell is the damn Alita 2 script? Good question.
Oh, Disney bought...
Yeah, Disney bought a bunch of properties from Fox, and I believe Alita was part of that deal.
So, grinding it into nothing.
Yeah,
how dare they try to compete with...
Put it under the rug.
I don't even want to say whatever the character, the Marvel whatever lady.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah, whatever.
Miss Marvel had such a nice like costume. I thought that was very cool.
The original Miss Marvel is what he's talking about.
The actual Miss Marvel.
I liked her original costume too.
It's like when you say Star Wars, you're not talking about like I hate sand, like or driving a spaceship using the light speed that crashed into the ship.
Ah, yes. Why didn't they just use droids to go into hyperspace and kill everyone, guys?
Imagine if that actually worked in the universe that she did that in, because then the Empire would be like, oh, that's a good idea.
Let's
we
do that.
have all these clones.
We have all these people that we don't
droids.
Like.
Yeah, so what we could do is just put someone into a spaceship, hyperspeed into the planet. Fuck the Death Star. How much does it cost for one of these little shitty TIE fighters? They can go into hyperspace.
Yeah, right.
We'll just shoot it straight into a planet. If it can destroy a Death Star, I bet it can destroy a city. Those are really big.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
what's up, Never?
Instead of lasers,
Fan
it's
fan
just...
and fan.
Hey.
That's us. Sorry, you can continue.
Oh, yeah. I mean, then you would just have a orbital bombardment that's just like TIE fighters just crashing into the planet. Easy.
Whenever you decide to make a huge jump like that in power scaling, you better have a good reason.
Imagine if Star Trek was like, there's no restrictions, you can teleport anything onto the opponent's ship. Imagine, like, that's the equivalent. It's like, oh no, we're getting shot at by another ship. Why don't we just teleport a bomb onto their ship? Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
We have this teleporter, might as well.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, why don't we teleport this brick?
I'm so smart for thinking about teleporting a bomb onto there.
Hey, I've got a pile of bricks. Why don't we teleport that into their reactor? Oh, yeah, they'll do that. Ship blows up immediately. It's like, all right.
Yeah. We're so smart.
Yeah, it's like, and then they have a fabricator that can make food and stuff. So it's like, oh, well, what we'll do is we'll just fabricate another pile of bricks and then teleport that into the opponent's ship.
Just more bricks. Yeah, honestly, long fulfillment stopped me from getting books. I get that for sure. You don't have to worry about that here, though. I always try to make sure at least most of the comic is done already, because keep in mind, I want to do comics as like my full-time career, ideally, in the future. So I want to dedicate a lot of time to making comics and making them quickly. And even if there's not consistent income coming yet, the idea is that I'm investing this time so that I can build up that audience and that fan base so that I can get consistent income in the future.
And that library.
The idea of the campaigns, is that you're working up to being able to do this as a full-time thing. Thanks for another donation from Robert. Is Slayer in the Wide Valley a euphemism? Damn. I was not thinking of it in that way. Full time, refresh the page. If you say so. I'll do a little refresh. Let's do it. Hey, over
wow.
1,000. Let's go.
Wow, 31 people want to read our stuff.
Yeah, campaigning.
So nice.
Getting things done. We're also planning on doing some posters for like putting around locally, and wherever they'll let us put up posters for Horizon Quest. We're gonna try to get like a QR code.
I was like,
print it up.
I was trying to figure out like what the story is with making QR codes, and then I was like on a website that was like generate QR code or whatever, and then I right click on the QR code to see if I could just save it as an image without clicking their download button, because I'm like, I don't know what that download button actually does.
Mm-hmm.
And then I right click on it, it's like, you want to generate a QR code for the QR code generating website? And I was like, oh, thanks, Brave. Okay, I guess.
That's pretty goofy.
It makes it, there's like a lion in the middle of the QR code because it's Brave, whatever. Their logo is a lion, but it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds fine. So
that's pretty funny. But yeah, so I guess that's the way good old business used to be done. It's just putting up like posters and just letting people around know that you have a business and things to be bought. So could be effective. We're gonna go to libraries, especially see if we can get some good book recommendations to the youth out there who need something good to read.
I'm so happy with this party. It's like such a
good set of adventurers we got there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy with it. Congratulations. And now I'm on my main PC, 1/5 of the way there. Yeah, not too long now.
Neva just ordered his.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you, Neva. Appreciated by a lot. Yeah, let's go. Back when business actually wanted to make money. Yeah, those were the days. You see, that's the one critique that I have about how America handles capitalism. I feel bad because other countries view that as just how capitalism is. It's just like monopolies and no regulations at all. But that's not how capitalism is supposed to be. Not in America.
No,
it's just people aren't being held accountable for making monopolies, which we do have like regulations and laws against, but nothing actually comes of it. That's like the real problem, is that a lot of government officials profit from the monopolies with their donations and fundings and other dirty monies. And it gets a little bit out of control, but we should never forget to support small businesses and small creators wherever we can, wherever it's possible, because it's important to let other people succeed. Yeah. That's the capitalism that I believe in. That's the good capitalism.
It's also like when you do business with someone, you should both feel good about it. Like if you feel like you're getting the better of them, then it's not good.
Not as satisfying.
Yeah, like when like when people want me to like 3D print stuff for them to then do something to it and then sell it. Like someone wants me to like 3D print them air plant pots, different designs and stuff. I'm like kind of like transparent about like what the cost to me is and stuff, and I want to make their margins good and make my margins so we both are like helping each other, because like that's really like the essence of like a sort of like capitalist system is like, I don't know. Well, I'm not an economist, but how I look at it is like you should both be like kind of working together.
It should be a good equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist style.
Yeah, because like I mean, if you're really good at like raising goats but not good at making like cheese, and you sell your goat milk to people that make cheese, it's like it's kind of a nice way of, maybe it's the inner German in me is like I like specialization, but it's kind of nice. Like it's also part of like what I like about the party dynamics is like when you have specialists in a thing and you also have them sort of be unspecialized for other stuff, it lets other people help them. It gives them a skill that can help other people in a way that they can't help themselves. And when you have like a well-balanced party where they're covering all of each other's weaknesses, it's like this kind of it's more than just like friendship, or like, I guess it's like exactly what cooperation should be. It's like you all like, the party forms into like a thing of like I don't know, like a greater than the sum of its parts, I guess is the term. But it's nice. So like you don't have, I don't know, sometimes with like superhero teams, when the balance isn't there, it's not as like interesting. Like if you have the Justice League, for example, Superman kind of is too strong. It's like, I guess Batman, I don't know, he hacks things, so there's some amount of balance, but it's like, how important is like Wonder Woman versus Superman? It's like, well, they both do the exact same stuff, except she has like, I guess, a truth telling lasso. I don't know, I guess, but there's so much overlap. Like I guess in DC in general, like everybody has kind of can fly around and punch people super hard. So you have like Aquaman is like, I am Superman, also I have fish. And there's like Red Tornado, it's like, I am Superman, also I spin. It's like, all right, like Martian Manhunter is like, I am Superman, also every utility power imaginable, phasing through people, controlling people. I guess that's, so it's like he's almost stepping on too many toes utility wise. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent. But
yeah, back to what we were saying before about like good capitalism, equivalent exchange, and all that good stuff, supporting small business. I can't fix Disney for you. I can't do it. I can't fix Marvel. I can't fix DC. I can complain about it just like we all do. I can complain about all these changes and all these mistakes that they're making and how they're upsetting the fans and the fans are turning on them, and how upset I am to see all these companies go super political in some cases and just stupid in other cases. But what I can do is I can make something that I think you'd enjoy. I can make something that I would enjoy, Yeah. We can. And that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to make stuff that we can all enjoy. And maybe it won't get as much reach as all this other, Disney, Marvel, DC, all those other guys, but I can't fix them. This is all I can do for you.
Got German blood in the chat. Also, someone was saying, Free 63 was saying, monopolies are corporatism and not capitalism. I don't know what corporatism is, but it's on my research list for when I work on a sci-fi thing. I have like a list of like things I need to look into, and like corporatism is like important for cyberpunk, and so like,
I know that people definitely conflate the two.
People talk about. It
feels so bad to hear other people from other countries like put down America and have all this wrong information about like what our laws are and what our problems are, and talk about how, this is why capitalism doesn't work, because America has all this stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-hate in America. That's
a problem too.
Which I think causes other people to join in on hating us, is because like,
it's because like we have citizens who also hate us.
I mentioned it a little bit in like that video I did on like non-human, like anti-human media being bad, but like there's like there's a certain amount of like just sickness in the brain of people where they're like, mankind bad, America bad. It's a weird thing that gets trained into people to just like everything would just be solved if they were just gone. Like it's not a good
it's not good,
not healthy.
Yeah, not good for your brain.
Yeah. Not humans are fucking cool.
It's funny because nowadays it almost feels like you're being rebellious by trying to be positive. Like trying to like put out positive material out there. Like nowadays they look at being conservative as being rebellious. Like that's the rebellious side now. It's like, what? You want to be a housewife? How could you? That's so unheard of.
Remember we did that Am I the Asshole, where the guy was like
And his
daughter was like,
Mm.
I want to be a housewife, and the neighbors were like, how dare you? And it's
How
like,
dare you let your daughter be raised that way? She should be a superhero. She should have the ability to like beat men in combat.
it was like there's not enough women in coding. It's like, have you ever talked to a coder about their job?
Yeah, do you think coders love their job or something?
I really hope there's like coders out there that are making all the code that makes all my programs work, that are really enjoying themselves. But like, I don't know. The only coders I've talked to have been like, don't do this.
Yeah, the
It's like,
one
learn to code. I wish I could forget. Like,
the one coder that I know, her arm's all fucked up from just like computer work all day long, and it's tragic, absolutely tragic.
she needs a better keyboard. She needs like those like ergonomic keyboards that have the big mound in the center where you're like this instead of like.
Yes, this will solve all the carpal tunnel.
I remember once upon a time, Staples was packed with the most obscure peripherals you could possibly imagine. One of my friends, like, he got hooked on the mouse that was like a giant red ball, like a crystal ball you'd roll around with your hand like this. And like he would like use that for playing games, and he was like, I'm just bad at shooters, I just can't, like, whatever. And I was like, and I saw his like computer setup, I was like, you still have that? What's wrong with you? And he's like, I just got used to it. And he's like, stop. You cannot. You can't win. Like, he was like having trouble playing FPSs because he's like literally moving his whole arm instead of just like, just a little motion
just flying off the desk.
Yeah,
that sounds so goofy.
Nice. Someone in chat likes coding. I am actually very glad. My point is more just like you should do it. Like, it's good for jobs.
You know what? That face looks like someone who likes coding.
Yeah, man.
That's perfect.
I just like there's like some studies where like women are more likely to do jobs they enjoy, whereas men just do jobs that give them. I want to
enjoy my job. Yeah, I do. It's true.
Yeah,
I want to be able to enjoy it.
It's a good instinct to have. Is like,
I'd be a housewife if I could.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome. Just do what I want at home, and all I have to do is like clean and cook. I can do that.
I definitely know some dudes who would be housewives too.
It's a sweet deal. I don't know what all the hubbub's about.
I was talking to this guy, and he had a friend in high school who he disappeared on him, and his group of friends, they couldn't figure out what happened to him, and then he contacted him out of the blue like 7 years later, and he's like, hey man, sorry I disappeared off the face of the earth. I fell in love with you, and I just couldn't handle just being friends, and I knew you weren't gay, so I just didn't bring it up. And I just left, and he just went to another state or whatever. And so he's like following him on Instagram now. They caught up, and they're like friends or whatever. And he got married, like a husband, right? And then he's like, he's like, oh, we just finished building our house together, or like, what, like, because they're both like dudes, and they're both like handy dudes. And so they built a house, and the house is like fucking gorgeous, and they built it in like way out nowhere. And they both like work from home, and they make like a bunch of money, so they have all this nice stuff, and the house is like 3 stories tall, all finished, and they have like a big like
just living the dream.
They have an atrium that's like they have the stairs go up, and then there's like ceiling is like super tall, and they're like this fancy like log cabin thing in the middle of nowhere. And he's just like, I'd be a housewife even if I had to take it.
I'd take a dick for that life.
He's just like, he's like,
you should have shot your shot.
It's just so funny.
It's a funny way to look at it.
Oh, poor guy.
Well,
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway, I guess we should think about ending the stream soon, because I gotta eat.
Oh, okay.
We should celebrate.
I'm so glad you guys came to hang out with us. Sorry if we didn't like catch your comment or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of comments going around. Some of them on other conversations that we had a while ago, so I didn't want to like read them to interrupt the current conversation and stuff like that. But this is great. Yeah. I love being able to talk directly with the people who are interested in my comics or my videos, of course, because you get that connection, you kind of get to know the people better. Hopefully you get to know me better and understand like what kind of stuff you're getting into here. I'm excited to get to show you guys like this art style that I'm trying out for a whole comic. And I will say I still want to improve my art style as I go on to like other books that I'll be drawing, but I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out right now.
There's like there's so much more to like talk about too.
No, well, we can have other streams.
We should have another stream.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully you guys can catch us on the next stream. Do you want to do like a Friday stream tomorrow?
Sure. That'd be awesome.
Like Horizon
I would love to hang out with you guys if you'll have me.
If you'll have them. We'll talk more about the comic.
I put a lot of thought into all the characters, and then I just tapered it back for like what was important to show like visually. So like I think I mentioned the thing with the glyphs with the fairy where it was like, not like it's not, super important that you like necessarily see it, but like I put a lot of thought into like how their magic would work, and like how much, not just like how the spells would have different utilities and like advantages in combat, but like their pools of magic, like energy, like their resource of casting and how it would recover and stuff. I thought Vera should have, for example, like very, very fast recovery, but can't hold that much magic at once. And that's why she can animate a suit of armor, because it's all just kind of taxing from her income rather than taking out of a pool to do something all at once.
Very technical brain.
And then I thought Astrid should be big explosions, and I wanted to mechanically like back that up with like, her having a big pool and then like, having
explosion magic is the best.
Yeah. And so like I wanted it to kind of make sense for her to be casting big explosions and not trying to do other stuff. And then Genwin being the middle of the road. Oh, someone asked why he was lonely, if I could say that without spoiling anything. I think I don't say it doesn't say in the comic, and that's intentional because I think you can feel lonely for no goddamn reason. You can feel depressed and stuff for no goddamn reason. And like something someone told me once that kind of stuck with me was, when you're depressed, it's bad, but when you look for a reason that you should be depressed is where the real hell begins.
Worse, yeah.
Because if you're smart enough, you can come up with plenty of reasons why you feel a certain way, but the real reason for at least depression is kind of just chemicals in your brain kind of making you feel nothing. And it's sort of your own thinking that is filling in the blank of no emotion with negative. It's like my understanding anyway. And so I thought like having him just kind of feel bad for no reason is sort of maybe more realistic than coming up with a reason like he lost friends or...
He's basically having a midlife crisis, but it's not his midlife yet.
I don't know if I put it exactly like that, but yeah, sure.
Where it's the purpose type feelings.
Yeah. He's like a little forlorn and like...
doesn't know what to do with himself.
Can't quite get motivated for stuff. And I thought that was like a more... and then he gets himself to the adventuring guild kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I'll like make friends. And then he's like, oh, nah, this is stupid. I'll just leave. And then he gets hooked in.
He gets pulled. Get in, loser. We're slaying orcs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically, the meme is actually what happens.
Yeah.
They roll up in a car, they grab him, and they force him to go slay some orcs.
Yeah, straight from the comic.
Straight from the comic. That meme.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to head out, but I'll do one more refresh. Just one more.
Yeah, one last refresh. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and backing the comic.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
33.
That's awesome.
Keep on going up, boys. That's
awesome. I'm so glad so many of you want to read the comic, and I'm so glad there's so many people that want the helmet. I'm so excited to be...
I was really excited to show people it.
There's another one printing right now.
Yes. We'll have to print quite a couple.
Going to be printing nonstop back to back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're going to need to. Really. But
right now we have 2 helmets and 1 visor, and another helmet is printing. So we're going to have to print quite a few of the visors to match up to it.
Yeah, going to be good stuff.
It's going to be awesome. And I'm so glad people are getting my my novel too. I've been working on it for quite a while.
Yeah. It's funny, every time you like write a new book, it's like getting longer and longer.
Is it?
Wasn't Slaying the Wide Valley longer than Treading Water? What are you looking for?
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I thought it was. I guess I'm wrong.
Well, Treading Water is 360. This one, yeah. Although I was originally like, when I started, I was like, this will be a novella, like 30 pages.
Right.
Like,
didn't turn out that way.
maybe 36 pages, just
Well,
times 10. Yeah.
You got very excited to write more fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I love
and I
fantasy
think
so
your
much.
enthusiasm adds to how well it'll be written.
I just wrote it as long as it had to be, and that was how long it had to be. It's still, I think it's still kind of feels like a. It doesn't feel short. It's a regular size novel. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for hanging out and everything.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And, yeah, and
we'll stream again tomorrow. Let's talk more about Horizon Quest stuff, other campaign stuff, other projects, and Slayer in the Wide Valley, and anything you want to know. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for backing the campaign.
And your questions, comments, and like interest is all very appreciated.
Yeah, thanks for interacting with the chat and liking the stream.
And lurkers, I appreciate you too.
Yeah, people just listening to us in the background. Thank you. Thank you all.
We'll You're see you awesome next time. Too, Matterhorn.
Bye, everyone.